All right, here we go. Hey everybody, it's Michael Beck in the ChatGTM podcast, coming to you live here from Dallas, Texas. This is a special edition. We'll call it the Food on Demand edition. We're doing some interviews here from the show with leading luminaries and people in the industry that are paving the way, robotics, AI, and things that help you understand what the heck you're eating and putting in your bodies. And that actually opens up the door to our special guest today, Miss Lucy Logan. She's the co-founder of Every Bite. I think you're also kind of a serial entrepreneur. I've seen some other things as I looked at you on LinkedIn.
Yes, serial entrepreneur, or definitely borderlining on insanity, but yes. Been doing that for 19 years. So,
I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So Lucy, tell me a little bit about, I just jumped in too quick. How are you today?
I'm good. Just landed from LA, so I'm good.
She just flew in. She didn't get her badge yet. I made her rush down here to find me in the corner, and I asked her, how you doing?
But you did say to the side of the bar, so I was like, that's perfect.
Yes, and I did draw a picture. I got a
You
picture
did.
and I drew a line. There's a
You
treasure
did.
map. There's an X right here on the floor if you could see it. But anyway, so Lucy runs a company called Every Bite. Every Bite or Every Bites?
Every Bite.
Every Bite. What's the website?
Everybite.com.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so just lay it out. What does Every Bite do and who's it do it for?
Yeah, so we really take our whole purpose is taking your menu and turning that into a guest data engine by marrying up the ingredients, the nutrition, the allergen data. So the 85 million people who are trying to buy your product, if you will, can now safely explore the menu based off of their dietary preferences.
What's 85 million? Is that a certain amount of people who have certain food sensitivities?
Yes. So 33 million people in the United States and growing have one or more food allergens.
Okay.
And then the remaining X million is, vegan, vegetarian, just looking to have those nutrient thresholds that they need to stay under. And then the thing that we always sort of talk about is your menu right now currently is a blind spot for, 1 in 10 Americans that have a food allergen or have a dietary preference.
You're rolling the dice.
Exactly. And just actually today flying here, I did a roundup on our allergens. There are 13 enacted legislations that are going to hit the food industry in the next 6 to 9 months, all requiring allergens to be posted either on menus or pre-point of purchase.
Well, okay, so legislation is a big deal. If you know it's coming, you don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
You're going to get caught, and then you're in the middle of it, right?
Yeah.
Well, before we get a little more into Every Bite, what made you think of this? Usually, there's some kind of personal moment. You found this. God, I wish this existed, or you had a family member. What's your origin story on this?
I have been fortunate to not have, myself personally or a family member go through, a food allergic reaction.
Yeah.
So, I know there are other companies that have that sort of ethos of why they founded. I've been doing nutrition and allergen analysis for 19 years, just meeting menu labeling regulations for restaurant chains predominantly.
As a hobby?
Pardon?
As a hobby?
No, well,
that's so weird.
I know, it's a sick hobby. No, in America, if you're more than 20 locations, you have to provide calories on the menu.
Okay.
And you've had that since 2017, 2018. And historically, we would provide our restaurants Excel files or PDFs. And then we started noticing people were going back into the system, making changes, trying to lower the sodium, or they were coming out with vegetarian options. So we just asked the customer, why are you making so many changes to your nutritional back end?
Right.
And they said, because the front of house is getting so many questions from guests. And so then it was that meeting of the minds of how can we take what's the compliance piece of nutrition and allergens
Bare minimum.
and put it into something personal, which
Right.
then unlocks a better guest experience and loyalty.
Got it. And when we were talking, you were telling my business partner and I about the solution. It sounds like what's offered today is barely even something that's checking the box. It's a PDF somewhere, and you said PDF a minute ago.
Yeah.
So you have to open up a file to look at it, to try to find that thing in there that may be bad for them?
Yeah, and we know that 91% of consumers view the menu before they go on premise. 68% of that is typically done on mobile that we see on our platform. And so if you're accessing this PDF, which is usually font size 3, and you're kind of zooming in. So we built a product called Smart Menu, which takes all of those attributes and it looks identical to the restaurant's menu. And then a guest said, I'm looking for items free from wheat and free from egg. And then it will read all the ingredients, the supplier specs, the nutritional labels, and then within a split second, it dynamically changes the menu. and says, hey, Michael, here are the
This
25
is your
items.
menu.
This is and it's literally called your menu.
Oh, wow.
Your matches.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool. So, and then the way that you interact with it, is it nesting into something that they already have? If I go to the restaurant's website and I'm looking at their menu there,
Yes.
will it dynamically change what the restaurant's showing me? Like, how is that interaction work?
There's a couple of things. So you can click on a link that says view nutrition and allergen info, and then that will be our platform. And then if you've already gone to any of our smart menus, it will welcome you back, because we keep you in kind of like, you know, the Olo sphere, where we keep you in that sort of second marketplace. Because if you're allergic to wheat at one restaurant, you're allergic to it at others. So it will welcome you back and be like, here are your matches. But we just about 2 weeks ago started to pivot to an API. And it's an API that means the restaurant can take that exact same data and then display it across any of the digital channels, not just the website, which is where we typically kind of own that space.
Right. And when we talk about the market here, and because part of what we do as a business, we talk about go to market.
Yeah.
What's been like the friction point for you trying to get this out there in the world?
I think the friction is probably the misinformation that nutrition and allergen data is bad for business, and or it's just a compliance piece. And I really push back on the industry and on brands and saying, well, there's a blind spot for 85 million customers that can't access the menu in a way that they really want to.
Right.
And the loyalty numbers are off the charts. If you have a food allergy, you'll spend 24% more on eating out. You'll typically eat out more times than a traditional diner at the same brand, because you now know it's safe.
Yeah.
Versus, you know, a guest going online saying, I can't find this allergen information for my family member. I'm just going to order and do grocery takeout, or, you know, they don't go out to eat. So the numbers on the revenue and the loyalty are there, and they're there in spades. But it's been very difficult marrying compliance to like opportunity, where don't look at these menu labeling regulations as just a requirement. Actually look at them, because the same data you need to comply is the same data to provide a personalized experience.
Right. You could drag it around with you like a ball and chain, or you could hold it up like a beacon saying, we're leading with this.
Exactly.
We're the ones that can help you.
Exactly.
And is this a SaaS solution? How do you guys sell this?
Yeah, so the API is just, you know, a standard based off of calls, and then the smart menus are SaaS based off of the number of locations in a group banded kind of rollout.
And are you rolling out already here in the US? Is it still in beta?
Yeah, we're rolling out in the US. We've got 9,000 locations that use Smart Menu. Well-known ones would be Cracker Barrel. They've been using it for a while. Steak and Shake. Honeygrow, who's a big, you know, Olo partner.
Yeah.
We're speaking with Honeygrow at Olo tomorrow. But last year in 2025, we did 9.4 million consumers going to our smart menus to interact with our brand's menus. And then from there, we have an order button that just literally you click order and it drops you at your ordering site. And then you can go ahead and actually start to build your menu item. And then we put an average AOV of $35. So it was about $6 million is how much guests with dietary preferences try to spend at our restaurants. And so that's why the API is super important, because now we can link that up to Olos and Toasts and other, you know, online ordering solutions to take search, discovery, and then purchase all the way through.
And it sounds like you have data now to substantiate that there is a financial uplift.
Yeah. 42% increase in loyalty signups from guests that have dietary preferences. Allergens, I think, is a little bit more than that. So it makes sense. If you have a dietary preference, and again, if you have a food allergen, you're going to want to sign up to a brand and a loyalty program that says, right, we know who you are, we know these are the menu items that you can eat. Sign up to our loyalty program, we will consistently serve those to you in offers. Versus there's no point of sending a buy one, get one free meat lovers pizza
if you don't
to
eat
someone
meat.
who's vegetarian. And all that data is there. It's just always been thought about as a regulatory requirement. And so back to your original question of, you know, kind of what's been the hard part of go-to-market, just changing the perception of the industry.
Our perceptions are our realities that we have to deal with.
Yes.
So you're here to educate.
Yeah.
So what's your talk tomorrow going to be about?
So with Olo and a couple of other brands, all about personalizing the menu and how that increases guest revenue and loyalty. We partnered with Olo in November of last year, so guests can now search, discover on the smart menu, and then actually go straight into the Olo shopping environment. So that's great, because now we can start to add revenue to what we're saying well, this isn't what we think is good for you. Here's the dollar amount of these people, and they're coming back to our smart menu as a complementary menu for them to order from, versus the other one that doesn't have this data.
Is that something that they can have on their phone as an app too? Like if I go into a new market and I go, what are all the places in town I could consider?
No, we went, as an entrepreneur, you're always like, oh, that's shiny. Let me see if I should follow that.
Protect your roadmap.
Well, should we do this? Should we do that? We thought about that a couple of years ago, but realized that I think the unlock in the industry is you got to filter the water at the top of the dam versus doing it household by household.
Yeah.
And so we were like, we're going to have a better impact for everyone if we go B2B. We think about it now and then, but no.
Well, yeah, but you don't have to snipe off each person.
Oh,
you have businesses doing it, then it's much bigger nets, right?
I take my hat off to any B2C company, especially in this kind of, the food exploratory space.
Yeah. So we're here at this show. Do you have any events where people can run, if they want to talk to you about what you're working on and what your company's doing? Where else are you going to be this year? I'm going to the restaurant marketing workshop. So Meg?
No.
Oh, wait.
I wish. That's the marketing executive group.
Yeah.
The workshop is in June in Boston at the Toast headquarters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have a feeling my friend Rev's going to be. I think
he is.
Yeah. Rev and I are actually doing a world record at the end of this month. We're going to do, I'm a baseball fan, but he talked me into it. We're going to do the record is 3 baseball games in one day.
Oh, I think I saw that online. Yeah.
We're going to go see 4 baseball games in one day. So, yeah. And he called me because he said, you're the only person crazy enough to do it. So I guess
what city would have enough? Or are you just going to do the same?
No, somewhere. It's so he lives in New Jersey, so it's not little league, farm teams or minor league.
Oh, okay.
And so, but he's got a cluster around him, and we're only going to go see 1 inning at each and drive like a bat out of hell to each one. So, yeah. Are you going to be at NRA? That's the restaurant show?
No.
And it's Cinco de Mayo. If you didn't know, we're getting a drink.
No, don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No.
And so you're going to be at the marketing workshop anywhere else? I'm going to pause it actually.
Yeah.
I'm clapping, let me know where. And now we're good. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're talking about where we're going to be this year. She's going to be at the restaurant marketing workshop coming up. Is that it for the year?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And so if people want to get a hold of you, since you're not going to be out there that much, it's just smart because they can actually just work on product and everything else, right? Because if you're here, you're not doing all the other stuff that needs to be done.
Yeah.
What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Certainly on LinkedIn, Lucy Logan. I think I'm the only one, though I think there might be an actress who happens to also be England, which is a little confusing.
Are you sure it's not Lucy Lawless?
No, it's like Lucy Logan _ something, but it's just me, Lucy Logan on LinkedIn, and then everybite.com, and then Lucy at everybite.
Fantastic. And we talked about busting a myth. If you could bust one myth about this part of the industry, about perceptions, if the whole world is listening right now and you get them to understand one thing, what is it?
Static menus are probably hiding around $33 billion of revenue. So that's how much a guest with a food allergen spends every year on CPG, consumer packaged goods products.
Is there a liability part of this, I imagine? I mean, if somebody comes in and gets sick off your food and you could have disclosed it?
I mean, you'll have your, traditional disclaimers like we do as well for all of our brands.
In California, there's liability about everything.
Yeah, there is. And California's got the first law coming up, July 1st. Restaurants have to put allergens on the menu or a digital format.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a waterfall moment.
Yeah.
So July when?
July 1st, and California is the first state to pass any menu labeling law around posting allergens.
Wow. And then you said there was legislation passing nationally as well, or?
It's very similar to the calorie bills that before it got wrapped up in the Affordable Care Act. There's little kind of whack-a-mole mushrooming up laws all over the place. But California's the first state. There's some more coming into New York, and then it moves over into Illinois, and then Maryland, and then I'm sure within end of 27, 28 will be federal and wrapped
Everybody will
up
have
in
to.
yeah.
So it sounds like you can get ahead of this if this is something you've been thinking about.
Yeah.
And last question, every bite.
Yeah.
Does this make every bite count? Like what are you guys thinking
It's
about?
like every bite matters to your guests, and every bite matters to you as the brand. Because if, again, that one individual in the family of four says, nope, I can't go to this restaurant, you've just lost out on, a family of four sit-down meal. So.
And all the repeat business too.
Exactly. But we're super excited about the API. I think that's going to be a big piece, because we hear from our customers that Smart Menu is great, but what about getting it into the mobile app? What about getting it into the kiosk?
Right.
And so having a single source of truth, we call it Atlas API, so it kind of goes everywhere. Single source of truth, and then it just beams to every guest-facing channel, I think is going to be great from operational time saving as well as guest experience.
Is that fed by the USDA, or how's that being
Our
populated?
data. Yeah, so on the back end of the Smart Menu, we have a nutrition analysis platform.
Okay.
So we've got about 1 million recipes that have been calculated from our customers over the years.
Really cool. Well, everybody, this has been Lucy Logan, co-founder of Every Bite. If you have an operation that you're not clear on what you're actually feeding your guests beyond what the food is, it sounds like this is something you should be taking a look at. The more and more I talk to people, we interviewed somebody recently. She has a specialty restaurant because of people's celiac, and it's a massive problem out there, right? And one of the myths out there too is it's all in people's heads. That's a huge myth.
Yeah.
It's not. People get sick. People can't go out. They feel terrible after they eat food that they want to eat.
And the crazy thing is, almost every restaurant we work with, if it's 2 locations or up to 2,000, they all have the menu items that are available for the 85 million. They just put it in a PDF. They put it in the footer of their website, and it gathers dust. So it's just just kind of meet the guest where they are with the data you already have. And I think, you'll start to see the revenue and loyalty benefit of transitioning a menu in a far more personal way.
And if you show you got behind it, you can show you actually care about it. Not that we had to do it, that this is where a brand forward, or we're people forward company and care.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. Well, Lucy, thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome. I look forward to seeing your speech tomorrow. I'll be there, or your presentation. I'll be there for sure.
Thank you.
And I have some barbecue I'm going to find while I'm in Texas too.
I know. I'm looking forward to it.
You're not a vegetarian?
Slightly.
Might break a rule or two in Texas.
I know. I was already preparing myself for that. I'm like, I should have maybe kind of had a couple of bites of meat before I came here, but
yeah, well, they got good stuff there. Well, everybody, this has been Lucy Logan with Every Bite. If you have questions, you know where to find her on LinkedIn or on the website. And for now, this is ChatGTM Podcast signing off. And as always, random acts of kindness, sprinkle that stuff everywhere. Just like Lucy spent some time with me today, made my day. A real nice kindness from you, opening somebody's door, giving them a moment of patience when they're being difficult, makes the world a better place. So for now, signing off. We'll see you guys on the next one.
bye.